That's for a Democrat show.
When you're ready. Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to report. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to try to make sense out of the senseless. Oh boy, it's been a really trying week. I mean, for those that tuned in Monday, you know, my one dog my one puppy got killed. I actually just got a text message from the owner, and he's bringing over a check for the vet bill. So I give the guy credit. He stepped up. He got the money quickly, and it's not about the money. But I had to borrow the money to pay for the vet, so I have to pay people back. And but the hard part is my other puppy, Kane, all week, every night, has been waking up crying, whimpering, and he's never done that. He'll grab the toy that him and Abel played with a lot, and he'll carry it around with his head held low. I'll go over, I'll take it from him, we'll start playing it, and he'll get okay. We have a couple offers from some nice people on puppies. We're waiting to hear back. I was supposed to go today, but I don't know what happened, just miscommunications. I know Sunday there's another owner that has puppies that have reached out to us, so we're gonna get everybody little buddies and mend everybody's heart. All right, we're gonna get on with the show. Been a weird week. Democrats, I don't understand it. They got the Jewish faith follows Democrats pretty, I hate to use the word religiously, but they're pretty solid when it comes to the Democrats. Man, the Democrats are just screwing them over left, right, and center, and I don't understand it. And this is, listen, this whole thing, Palestine, Israel, Palestine, you fucked around and you're finding out. Just as we, as the United States, we fought two countries on two fronts when we were attacked. No different what Israel's doing. They were attacked. And then you have idiots like this. Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers panics. Biden risks losing to Trump without ceasefire in Gaza. I guess they basically just told every Jewish supporter, fuck you, we don't care about Israel. We don't care about your religion. We don't care that Gaza, Hamas, and its people want to wipe you off the map, that want to destroy and annihilate the Jewish people. They don't give a shit. They care more about these terrorists. And we've seen it time and time again. Democrats care more about terrorists than they do the American people, more than our allies. And doesn't make sense to me. They play to the small base and piss off their larger base. But I guess they're just like kind of Hillary did. Hey, I don't need to go campaign in those areas. They'll vote for us anyway. Why do we have to show that we care? And that's what they're doing with the Jewish people. And I just don't understand how the Jewish people will continue to vote for them. It's been proven time and time again, Trump is the stronger of the two when it comes to protecting our allies, protecting our Jewish base over Biden. Biden wants to placate to Iran, Hamas, Gaza, Palestine, excuse me. And I'm tired of this. When there's war, unfortunately, civilians usually get caught in the crossfire. War is war. And I'm getting tired of these fucking nations holding the United States, Israel to this high standard while they allow countries like Iraq, Iran, North Korea, China, Russia to do whatever the fuck they want. And they hold us to a higher standard. How many civilians were killed when Palestine attacked Israel? They didn't attack a military base. They attacked civilian sites. Man, something on that cup. My lip went a little numb. I did it before last time I took a little drink. And how you can have on the UN committee for humanitarian and human, I can't remember. I didn't plan on talking about it, so I didn't make sure I had all the information. They got like Iraq and Iran on these committees that are for the treatment of humans. You know, some of the biggest offenders of how humans are treated are the ones making the rules now. And this ceasefire is a bunch of bullshit. And then there's another article I got where it's Bernie Sanders making excuses and blaming Israel that Hamas and Palestine are using civilians as shields, which is against Geneva Convention. So ignore the ones that are breaking the rules. Ignore the ones that started it. Ignore the ones that are doing the killing. And go after those who are defending themselves. Come on, let's get serious here. And you have idiots like Seth Meyers panicking over prospect of Trump victory in November, saying President Joe Biden's failure to make good on his promise of a ceasefire in Gaza has alienated Democrats in key swing states. I get so tired of these celebrities that live in a bubble in this echo chamber. Maybe you're losing key members in those swing states because they're Jewish and they see how the Democrat Party is turning on them, not wanting to protect Israel when it was attacked. But yeah, how much we're letting Ukraine do whatever the fuck they want. There's a lot of questions what's going on in Ukraine, and we turn a blind eye. Oh, we keep sending billions of dollars there. We keep sending ammo there, weapons. Israel. Hi, I'm Joe Biden. I say fuck Israel. And Myers goes on to note that Biden made that very promise during an appearance on late night in February, and that there's still no ceasefire. I hope to God, Netanyahu told Biden to go pound sand up his wrinkly little ass. We've had Democrats threaten to try to overturn elections in Israel. Aren't these the same people that fucking cried about a fake attempt to overturn our elections here by Russia? Oh, it's not right. Another country's interfering with our elections. But you got Schumer and Biden running their mouths, talking how they want to overturn Netanyahu. You know, these idiots need to practice what the fuck they preach. And listen, if you're one of the Gaza supporters, go fuck yourself. I really couldn't care. You can make as many comments as you want on my pages. I don't give a flying fuck about you. You fucked around and you found out. You started this. There was a ceasefire. There was no fighting until you attacked Israel. Plain and simple. Yeah, it may not have been, we're getting along great neighbors, but there's no war going on until you, Palestine, you, Hamas, which Hamas is the government of Palestine. And they force elections, and I don't see us playing patty cakes with Russia. Do I? Oh, no. Oh, let me see some. Democrats got their hands in so much shit and run their mouths about so much shit that they can't even keep it straight. What the hell's that program called? I'm doing the show. I want to pull my cameras up so I can see outside. I can't remember the name of the program. There it is. Yeah, I definitely have cameras up around my house. Oh man, it just. I should put a video on to go out real quick, but I was not going to do that. I don't know what the hell's going on out there. No. It's just getting ridiculous with these Democrats and their double talk. I couldn't believe them if they told me this guy was blue. And who's he? You got Madeline Dean, Democrat from Pennsylvania. That former President Donald Trump would be a useful idiot to Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Dean said, when we're talking about the very critical subject, I can't think of anything more starkly clear. Mr. Netanyahu, I believe, is waiting his days out because he would like to have the return of what I believe is a useful idiot to people like Netanyahu. Oh, you mean someone that's going to stand up for the country of Israel while people like you turn their backs on the Jewish people? And one of the issues, yes, I have an issue with this. Because what do these jackasses want to do, Hamas? They want to wipe out the Jewish people. My wife comes from a Jewish family. I may not be Jewish, but you know what? I will protect them till the day is long. Which also means they would want to wipe out my wife and my daughter because they come from a Jewish family. So you know what? Hamas, go fuck yourself. Palestine, go fuck yourself. Democrats that won't stand up for Israel's right to protect themselves, go fuck yourself. Palestine fucked around and found out. Plain and simple. And these idiots that, please, and the Jewish people, please remember this when it comes time for election, that these same idiots are turning their back on you and your heritage. They do not want to protect you. The only time I hear ceasefire out of their mouth is anytime Israel protects themselves, retaliates. Then it's, oh, no. Oh, we need a ceasefire. I never hear these jagoffs talking ceasefire as Palestine's raining down on them. What is it? She also added, Mr. Netanyahu, after all, let's think about this. He was not honest about how he was going to prosecute this war. He told us they could be more targeted and strategic. Instead, he dropped 2,000-pound dumb bombs and taken out whole villages, whole buildings, and neighborhoods. And who is in those areas, you dumb broad? Don't sit there, well, they're holding these people hostages. There's people in Russia that are being held hostage, but I don't see you making excuses for Russia attacking. Oh, no, that's different. That's different. Oh, God. Please tell me I'm not the only one that sees the hypocrisy in this bullshit. Please. No one's good. They're still out there talking. I don't know. She goes on to say, Mr. Trump would be a useful idiot. Oh, wait a minute, let me, where the buildings, Mr. Netanyahu does not want a two-state solution, neither does Mr. Trump. We're better off, the world is better off, and the Palestine people, the Israel people are better off. Israel people would be better off if Mr. Netanyahu is ultimately decided in a new vote whether or not he should continue. There we go. Are Democrats interfering in elections again? They've tried fucking with ours illegally. They've lied. They've stole. They've cheated. And more because they don't like a conservative country, they will lie. They will cheat. They will allow terrorists to attack. And yes, Democrats are helping terrorists, whether you like it or not. They are helping them. They're allowing Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, until Biden, we're going to take them off the list. Jackass. They're allowing terrorists to walk across our borders. They've been released into our country. And the Democrats don't do shit. They want chaos, people. They have chaos. People are going to turn to the government to stop it. Oh, we're going to have to make more rules. We're going to have to take this freedom away from you in the name of safety. Well, safety is an illusion that they offer. They take our freedoms. And not the women are losing their freedoms. They're losing their rights. I always love that one. I love the guns have more rights than women's. You need a permit for your pussy? Oh, you don't? Oh. You need a background before you get fucked? No? Okay. Do you need a background check before you go and procreate? No, you don't. What do you need a permit for? No, you don't, because you're not losing your rights. It's more bullshit that the Democrats spew and these simple-minded idiots believe. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I know that fucking Republicans aren't their hands aren't clean. But at this point, they're a little bit better than the Democrats. And I'm not exactly all hype on the Republicans. I've said it. After Trump, depending who the nominees, I'm probably going to walk away from the Republican Party. I'm only here for Mr. Trump. Yes, I'm MAGA. I'm mega MAGA, you fuckers. Coffee and Red Bull. Oh. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to play this video real quick, and then I will be right back.
I'll reserve judgment on that, but I hope that the world will come around and say we actually need an independent investigation because we have lost too many lives. And these were lives of aid workers in what was apparently a deconflicted zone, literally a street that was deconflicted. So I do hope it is accidental, but man, oh man, these accidents with a military that boasts, and the Prime Minister literally in my meeting with him on November the 11th, boasted of their superior intelligence and their superior ability to pinpoint and target. Well, it looks here like terrible intelligence and the ability to pinpoint and target. We need a full investigation. We need full transparency. And I'm remembering we had 3 hostages who came out shirts off, who were shot and killed by the IDF. There's just way too much of this going on.
Congresswoman, you are describing an investigation that is independent, something that the Secretary of State Antony Blinken initially called for, but the White House has since walked that back or tried to clarify it, saying that he was referring to the IDF probe that's already underway. World Central Kitchen wants an independent review, not one conducted by the IDF or the Israeli military. It sounds like you agree that you want someone outside of Israel to take a look at what happened more thoroughly.
I do. I agree with that. And I believe the administration will take a look at the investigation that is provided by Israel, by IDF, and will decide whether or not they think it is a full investigation. And I would urge the administration to have that followed up with an independent investigation.
Congressman, I want to ask you about some recent.
Oh, I can't take it. I was back on it before this ended, but oh my God. Really? All right. Let's see. Ukraine will now join NATO, according to Antony Blinken. That's dangerous. That really can start a world of shit. I don't think that we shouldn't allow them in, but that's going to really get Russia's panties in a bind. I was actually reading an article. It says technically NATO only covers, I think it's 48 of the United States. I know it said it didn't cover Hawaii. Hawaii is not under, because it's the North Atlantic Treaty, and Hawaii is not directly connected to the United States, and it's out in the Pacific. Personally, I think it was a writer just trying to stir up some shit, but I'm not an expert on that. I'm not going to claim to be, but that's what I was talking about. Now, Blinken says NATO will join. The German chancellor says that NATO does not meet NATO membership requirements. Signs. All right, he went on the support of Ukraine. Blinken said the support of Ukraine, the determination of every country represented here at NATO, remains rock solid. We will do everything we can. Allies will do everything they can to ensure Ukraine has what it needs to continue to deal with Russia's ongoing aggression. Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Our purpose at the summit is to help build a bridge to that membership and to create a clear pathway for Ukraine moving forward. We will see very strong support for Ukraine moving forward with its relationship going forward with NATO. I can't wait. Oh, I got a little lazy this week, but I'm going to get it done possibly tonight after the show, but definitely this weekend. Add in a second monitor. I had too many things in just one monitor. Blinken went on, but we are equally focused, as I said, on the immediate and on Ukraine's needs today, tomorrow, and the day after to help it withstand this ongoing aggression from Russia. This follows several comments by the U.S. President Joe Biden. Is today Tuesday? Today's soup day? Listen, basically what they want to do is if Ukraine becomes NATO and Russia's still there, we are obligated now to send troops. So will other countries. Right now, we're not officially have troops in the war. But by becoming NATO, we would be obligated and have to send troops. Yeah, let's change up the music in the background. I know you can't hear because, well, I'd get flagged for it. Right now I got Silvertune. Do I go a pale horse named Death, Typo Negative, or Slayer? How about Black Label Society? Let's go. I haven't heard Black Label in a while. Here we go. It helps me concentrate. Actually, the music does. It's very low in the background, and I guess that just helps me concentrate. This article here. This is by a website called the Climate Depot. Arctic sea ice continues its remarkable recovery. Ice expands to a 21-year high. Of course, you're going to hear the climate nut jobs. Oh my God, it's shrinking! The article starts out going, Arctic sea ice continues its stonking recovery last month, recording its 24th highest level in the 45-year modern satellite record. As previously reported in the Daily Skeptic, the ice climbed to a 21-year high on January 8th. Good news, of course, for ice fans and polar bears. But frankly, a bit of a disaster if you're forecasting future swimmers swimming galas at the North Pole to promote a collective net zero agenda. Live by the sword, die by the sword. If you cherry-pick the scientific record to state the climate is collapsing, it might be thought you have some explaining to do when the trend reverts to the normal. Wow. So in other words, we might have had a little bit of warming, but that's just called Mother Nature. Do these idiots realize that it gets hotter, it gets colder, it gets colder, it gets hotter year to year? It's Mother Nature. And what's funny is I know they're not serious when they have carbon tax. Oh, you're going to pollute? Oh, if you're going to pollute that much, you're going to have to pay a carbon tax. You're going to have to pay the government to pollute. How is that stopping global warming? It's not. Global warming is a money-making scheme. Period. Science is definitive on this. All right. Just ask a coral alarmist about 2 years ago of record growth on the Great Barrier Reef. Sadly, explanations there are none. Just a deafening, stunned silence. Yeah, the Great Barrier Reef is doing just fine. Arctic sea ice has long been a poster scare for climate Armageddon. But science tells us that it is secular and is heavily influenced by ocean currents and atmospheric heat exchanges. It would appear that these chaotic changes are beyond the ability of any computer to process. Although a large, well-funded model industry begs to differ. The recovery in Arctic sea ice has been steady, if slow, and this has enabled the alarmists to hang on in the mainstream headlines. And it doesn't matter. They'll lie. They've done it for decades. They have outright lied. And then, they put all this data. Oh, this is what it says. Oh, a month later. Well, We forgot that one buoy was broken and it was recording the wrong temperatures for about 100 years now. And we never fixed it because it helps with us, fear mongering. Of course, it could go into reverse. Nobody really knows. Least of all, Sir David Altenberg, who told BBC viewers in 2022 that summer ice could be all gone by 2035. He relied, needlessly to say, on a computer model. Input shit, get shit out. Put faulty data in, get faulty data out. They're trying to predict Mother Nature. We have a whole working class that have been 50% wrong for years on that. They can barely predict what it's going to do for an hour from now, let alone what it's going to do 10 years from now. But most mainstream climate journalists, I'll use that very sparingly, to steal from what the hell's a mainstream climate jokelist, just print what they are told without looking too closely at the source of the information. The U.S.-based National Snow and Ice Data Center is a source of interpretation for trends in polar ice, but care needs to be taken when reading its often gloomy monthly summaries. According to National Snow and Ice Data Center, also known as the NSIDC, January sea ice growth was lower than average throughout most of the month. Its headline its report, "Nothing swift about January sea ice." Other interpretations are available. Consider the graph below, tracking ice extended for January over the satellite record. Lower than it was in the 1980s, but going up, trending up. Statisticians can argue over when the sea ice started to recover, but there has not been much decline going back to around 2007. In this case, January shows a similar trend to that seen in September, the month with the lowest sea ice extent. A moving average line from around the middle of the last decade would show an obvious increase. I just want to bang my head. I just want to ram my head into a wall with these useless idiots. How you doing, Phantom? That typo, yes. I just... Who doesn't make lies? Well, our government does. But that's no excuse. Let me tell you, as an avid fisherman, I'm not an expert in any sense. But I fish as often as I can when I can. Of course, with my truck in the shop. Haven't been able to go much lately. Yeah, I want to bang my head against the wall, fam. And welcome to the show. I want to protect our environment. I don't want to see pollution. I don't want to see the abuse. But this planet is a lot stronger than we give it credit for. It's been around millions upon millions upon millions of years. And we're acting as if we're the only ones that can control the fate of the planet. I'm pretty sure if we fuck around too much on this planet's going to end us. One way or another, it could end us if it wanted to. And that doesn't mean I think we ought to go out and do whatever we want. But I've said it hundreds and hundreds of times. We shouldn't cut our nose off to spite our face. And that's what we're doing. Some of these rules and regulations they're trying to put through, it's doing nothing but trying to make it hard for us so we become more dependent on a government. We need to protect the planet. But I don't see it ending anytime soon because of we're basically fleas. Not even fleas. Fleas can do more damage than we can. I wish we can get some honest, truthful data. One that doesn't have a political agenda attached to it. And that's what we have. When I first started doing the show, I did some research. God, I wish I still had the access to that data. My computer fried out a long time ago. And there's like the international something of climate change or something like that. It's an international organization that goes over data of the environment. And the head of it decades ago left. And it wasn't because he believed or didn't believe. It was that the government was getting too involved in politicizing the science. And he admits that they were going out there putting out faulty data. And what we have now is if you try to put data forth that doesn't go along with their agenda, they're going to try to silence you. They're going to try to remove you from the conversation. They don't want you talking that there is maybe not so much doom and gloom. I'd rather have the truth and have to pay to fix a problem. But when it's blatant lies, and when you tell me that the science is settled, when the Democrats come out rolling that line, right there screams, it's not settled, it's not done, and they don't want discussion. Science is never settled. Science is never done. There's plenty of scientific theories that have changed over the decades, centuries. For a very, very long time. Yeah, hang on. And don't take it. I never got into Testament. And I'm talking to band. I just never. I'm not knocking them or anything. Just not my gig. That just came on. Right now I'm putting on Damage Plan. For some reason, it wasn't playing a lot. I think I'm going to go to Typo next. It's actually coming up on Pete Steele's anniversary of his passing. I think the 10th of April. Back in 2010 is when he passed away. And I would love to do a show just on music. But I couldn't play anything because trying to get the pay to get the rights to play this stuff is expensive. I couldn't put it on YouTube. YouTube would friggin' copyright me left, right. Listen, the beginning of my intro, I got some sampling from Typo on it. And I get a copyright every single show. Even though the company that owns the music doesn't want anything to done. And I'm using less than 30 seconds. I keep getting copyrights on them. I would love to have like Kenny Hicks or John Kelly on the show. Talk to him about, Silver Tomb. I Am is the new band. Typo Negative, Carnivore. I'd love to talk to him about that stuff. But maybe one day. One on my bucket list. How the heck did I go from not talking about ice to music? I'll say the two favorite things in my life are politics and music. I try not to bash music I don't like because it's still music. I can appreciate their artistry. I may not like the words, may not like how it's composed, but I can respect their artistry. Some music, yeah, I think is shit, but I'll try to let it get by. I try to let live and let everybody has the right to their own music taste. But how I went from one to the other, that and the politics, if you haven't understood, no, I am not some highfalutin, college educated. I have some college. Yeah, that's not me. I'm your everyday idiot. I'm your everyday moron on the street. And there's more of us than the others. And these are my opinions and how I see life, how it's presented to me. And I'm from New Jersey, original. Well, born in Pennsylvania, raised in New Jersey, now live in Florida. So that's where the Jersey Joe, because nobody could remember Joe, but they remember Jersey Joe. And I'm rude, I'm crude. I say what I think, and I think what I say. You'll never have to wonder, because I'll tell you what I think. Megadeth doing Paranoid. All right, typo negative. There we go. Oh, one of my favorites. I don't want to be me. I don't want to be. I don't want to be me. I don't want to be me anymore. All right, let's get back to this article. Note also that the NSIDC, which again is the National Snow and Ice Data Center, claims the January growth extent was below average. Well, it depends on what average you're using. The NSIDC uses a comparative average from 1981 to 2010, despite a more recent decade of data being available. It is not hard to see why it prefers 1981 to 2010, since it includes the highest levels includes higher levels of the 1980s and excludes the lower levels of the 2010s. Taking a 1991 to 2010 average would likely lead to many more above average observations. Data before 1979 is not accurate, but levels going back to 1950 suggest much lower sea ice extents. Perish the thought that comparisons should be made with these data or observation made about an obvious secular trend seen here and in the historic records going back to the early 1800s. And at one time, surprise, surprise, Antarctica was blushing green. All right, for those listening, don't forget to hit the like, share, leave a comment. Like me, hate me, want me fired, speak up. Won't bother me. But it helps with the algorithms, the evil algorithms. YouTube evil shenanigans. I tell you. For those that are wondering, yes, the guy actually just dropped the full check off. I give him credit. He did not take time getting it to me. I got much respect for the guy on that part. He manned up. He did what he had to. And he full check for the vet bill. I'll give the man credit for that. I will never fault a man that stands up when he does something wrong. If they stand up and don't make excuses and they do what they can to not going to do whatever to get views. That's not me. Right. I understand what you mean. I just speak what I think. Let's get on to another article. Everybody gets the gist of the bullshit going on with climate change. Because you know what? Climate changes. Top Democrats brace for Donald Trump victory. We all are prepared to lose. Democrats with deep knowledge of the Biden campaign acknowledge former President Donald Trump's significant chance of completing the greatest political comeback in American history. Democrats are right to be concerned. In March, Trump beat the odds and won 5 victories that firmly kept him on path to reclaim the White House. Clinched Republican presidential primary. Received a reduced bond amount from $454 million down to $175 million. Completed a Truth Social merger and launched a public offering. Won a ruling by Judge McAfee to appeal an order denying disqualification of Fani Willis. Endorsed Ohio candidate Bernie Moreno, who then won the Ohio Republican Senate primary. Democratic fundraiser John Morgan said his party is prepared to lose the presidential election to Trump. Morgan, a very successful lawyer from Central Florida, added he is nervous about President Joe Biden's current political position. As my great-grandfather used to say, I'm as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Yes, hell yeah. Morgan told the Washington Post, we all know this is a jump ball. In 2016, we were reading Nate Silver, and we weren't worried at all. When we woke up, we realized we've never been to Wisconsin, and we've never been to Michigan, and then all the Monday morning quarterbacks are out. Morgan is not the only Democrat bracing for Trump potential victory. Julie Chavez Rodriguez, Biden's campaign manager, said losing in November would range somewhere between damaging and devastating. For me, it's like either damage or devastation, she said to the Washington Post. Those are the two that I kind of go back and forth on. I think it would be devastating for our community. I think it would be damaging for our politics and for the policies that we have enacted. And I've talked about it before. They are already trying to enact stuff to block Trump from doing certain things because they know the chances of a win are great. Oh. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to step to the side for a moment. They're prepared. They're ready. I think they know it. There's external polling, then there's the internal. And I think they know they can't do enough cheating with everything that happened in 2020. they're not going to be able to do enough to overturn this election. I think they know that it would be too obvious. Democrat fundraiser John Morgan said his party is prepared to lose. Oh, that idiot Morgan from Morgan and Morgan. Ambulance chasers are us. All right, I went over there. Said losing in November would range somewhere. Yada, yada, yada. The Post, Jesus Rodriguez questioned if Chavez Rodriguez has the tools to prevent Trump's return to the White House. What if Biden's campaign manager can't manage to keep it at bay? That won't be the case for Julie. Morgan defended Biden's campaign manager because we are prepared to lose. No matter what, I don't think people are going to blame Julie like people blame Robbie Mook for Hillary. How about you blame Hillary Clinton for Hillary Clinton losing? She's the one that screwed that all up. She insulted half the country. She took for granted how many states? I don't know. I think a lot of people are going, oh, I'm not going to do the mistake of voting for Biden again. No, thank you. The guy can't even walk up steps. Trump leads Biden, reversing Biden's 2020 success in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, and Arizona. He's even single-digit difference. Now, Biden has the lead, but a single-digit difference in New Jersey. I never realized just how bad New Jersey was until I left. I didn't realize how communist New Jersey was until I left. And that the American people are kind of going, yeah, we're getting tired of this shit. Trump also holds sizable leads over Biden in 6 out of 8 issues polled by the Journal. In addition, Biden's average approval ratings of about 40% is well below the historical threshold of 50% for the incumbent to win re-election. You have to be an idiot not to be nervous, Carville said. It's uncomfortably close, and the alternative would be to end the Constitution. Something the Democrats would love to do. The only time the Democrats like it is when it's to their advantage. Otherwise, they hate the Constitution. The only time they like the Supreme Court was when it's to their advantage. When they had the lead in the Supreme Court, there was no issue about the court. And now all we hear is, oh, it's illegitimate. Oh, man, I just get tired of this shit. Then they try to make fun of Trump for pointing out the obvious, but what do? Oh, the Supreme Court is illegitimate. Oh, they're extremists. Fuck you, Democrats. And this is not the people. I'm talking to politicians mostly. I have to laugh on another thing. I've been putting up these little shorts for the videos. You know, a little 30, 60 seconds. And I put them on Twitter. Not Twitter, TikTok just for fun. I couldn't give a flying fuck about TikTok. And I got this one pink hair, stars or hearts on his glasses, helmet wearing, window licking moron. And he can only boomer, lead paint chip eating asshole. All right. I'd be proud of boomers talking to me. I have no problem with boomers. Boomers are well-versed, experienced. But this wet behind the ear little boy. He don't know what life is, and he's trying to act all big, but he can only say the same comments over and over again. But hey, keep commenting on it. I love it. Then the article goes into the dollar amounts. How Biden's campaign has out fundraised right now. Trump's. But they also had to bring in Barack Hussein Obama to help him and Bill Clinton to fundraise for money. How bad is that? They had to bring in the those two to fundraise for money. But now, a lot of shit's coming down with Trump. Now that he's got the nomination. Oh, he's got some big fundraisers coming up. And you're going to see some money flying in, boys and girls. Oh, where are we at? Oh, shit. Show's almost done. Show is almost done. Let's see if we can sneak in one more. James Carville. Please, just go into obscurity. Please. You jag off. Democratic strategist James Carville said Wednesday on MSNBC The Beat that racism in the United States just slaps you right in the face. Yeah, because you hang out with racist Democrats, you dumbass. Which goes to Mike Rowe posted. I think it's Harvard's having kind of like where they're having celebrations for graduation, blacks only, Hispanics only, this only. They're choosing it by race. And he points it out, and there's Democrats lining up. Oh, you're mistaken that they have a right to do that. The Democrats have brainwashed these people. Democrats are the party of racism, the party of segregation. They got their ass kicked by the Republicans in 1964 over it. So they sat back. But what they've done now is convince these minorities they need to segregate. So these racist Democrats are getting what they wanted from the beginning. But they just convinced the minority that they need segregation. And they come up with these long-winded excuses for why it's acceptable. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X would be turning over in their fucking graves listening to this shit. No. I'm tired of it. And they justify the racism and have no problem with it. All right, that's going to be the show for tonight. I'll be back Monday, 9 p.m. Hope you'll be there. Have a great weekend, everybody.